Breaking news! Things are heating up behind the scenes in Patriots Nation. The vibes are electric and the stakes are high. Before we dive into this bombshell, smash that like button if you believe the Pats have what it takes to punch their ticket to the next Super Bowl. For real, I believe big time. And if you're riding the same wave, drop it loud in the comments. Go Pats! I believe! Could the Patriots really make this crazy move? That's the question stirring the minds of fans, and we just might have the breadcrumbs that suggest something is brewing in Foxborough that no one saw coming. Imagine a top receiver in the draft making a surprise visit, speculation swirling around shifting draft priorities, and a mock draft that throws conventional wisdom out the window. Yeah, buckle up, because this isn't just another offseason update. This could be the prelude to a seismic shakeup in the Patriots' 2025 draft strategy. Teteroa McMillan, remember the name. Some are calling him the best wide receiver in this entire draft class. And guess what? He just made a top 30 visit to Foxborough. Now before you jump to conclusions and start picturing McMillan catching bombs from a Patriots QB in week 1, let's keep it real. The insider here, Aaron, isn't convinced that New England is seriously considering him with their first-round pick. Not because McMillan lacks the skills, far from it. Built like Drake London and loaded with elite athleticism for his size, McMillan is a rare outside receiver who can also line up in the slot and generate yards after the catch like a madman. He's got that star potential, and anyone who's watched his highlight reel knows he's electric. But Aaron makes it clear, despite the talent, this might not be a match. Why? Let's talk roster. The Patriots just acquired Stephon Diggs, a true number one. They've also got Max Holland, Pop Douglas, and a handful of promising young receivers already fighting for playing time. So spending a first-rounder on McMillan? Unlikely. That said, this visit wasn't for show. There's a chance, however slim, that if the Patriots trade back into the teens, McMillan could still be on the board. And that opens the door just enough to justify the visit. A strategic hedge. A just-in-case move. Here's where it gets even more intriguing. The mock draft scenario plays out with the Patriots possibly picking at 15, but with tempting trade offers rolling in, multiple picks, second-rounders, future assets. Aaron toys with the idea, even entertains a hypothetical move with the Steelers. And the message? This team is thinking creatively. They're not locked into any static path. They're flexible, fluid, and ready to make moves if the board falls in their favor. Now, here's a twist. The name Kelvin Banks comes up. If the Patriots trade back and still land a foundational left tackle like Banks, it's a win. 3-year starter at Texas, only 4 sacks allowed in his entire college career, and battle-tested against elite defenses. He's not flashy, he's solid, smart, and NFL ready. That kind of player is what championship lines are built around. But Banks isn't the only offensive line prospect on the radar. There's also Taylor Swaga, nicknamed Mayo, who's widely considered the top right tackle in this draft class. The debate between Banks and Mayo is real. Mayo is more athletic, ran a 4.91 at the combine, and has all the tools to possibly make the switch to left tackle. The issue? He's never really played there. Outside of one snap at left guard and a goal line package, he's been a right side guy. Do the Patriots really want to experiment at such a critical position? That's where Aaron draws the line. Banks is tried and true. Mayo is potential. But with this team, reliability might just win out. Let's not ignore another layer in this web, the question of Will Campbell. Aaron's leaning toward him being the likely pick. Arm length concerns? Sure. But like Banks and Mayo, he's got that SEC pedigree. In the end, if it's one of these three, it's a solid choice. Now let's zoom in on Aaron's mock draft, version 3.0. It's chaos, in a good way. 7 rounds, trade offers flying, strategy shifting by the minute. The Patriots hold firm at pick 15 and go after Matthew Golden at wide receiver, somewhat of a surprise, but not unwarranted. Then at pick 38, they grab a player from Minnesota whose name Aaron admits to butchering. It's honest, it's raw, and it's real. At 46, he considers edge rushers, defensive tackles like Derek Harmon from Oregon, and even a favorite from Boston College, AZ, who made a statement against Michigan State. At 53, the board opens again. Trayvon Henderson tempts him. Then, a wave of trades. Picks 81, 86, and more. One by one, the Patriots stockpile talent. Offensive tackles, guards, edge rushers, safeties. Charles Grant from William and Mary, supposedly a stud. Kevin Winston from Penn State, a potential answer to the team's shaky safety depth after last season's drama. The goal is clear: rebuild the trenches, reestablish depth, and find value in unexpected places. And yes, there's even room for a kicker, Ben Sauls in the 6th round. That's right, special teams matters. Just ask anyone who watched the Patriots lose games last season because of missed field goals or poor coverage. It's a full circle approach. By the end of it all, the Patriots walk away with 11 picks. For offensive linemen, including multiple tackles, a guard, 2 offensive playmakers in R.J. Harvey and Matthew Golden, and critical defensive help in Kevin Winston and Tim Smith. Is it flashy? Not really, but it's smart, strategic, intentional. So now it's your turn. What do you think about Teteroa McMillan visiting Foxborough? Could he be the surprise piece no one saw coming? Do you agree with the idea that Kelvin Banks is a safer bet than Mayo? And what about that mock draft? Did Aaron nail it, or did he completely whiff? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Let's talk strategy, potential, and the future of the New England Patriots. This offseason could be a turning point, and your voice matters in shaping what comes next. And speaking of shaping what comes next, let's take a closer look at the reasoning behind some of the later picks in that wild mock draft. Because if you're only watching the top picks, you're missing the bigger story. This team isn't just trying to plug holes. They're trying to build something durable, sustainable. They're not chasing headlines. They're laying bricks. Let's talk about R.J. Harvey. Taken late, but not an afterthought. He's a name that might not spark instant recognition, but Aaron clearly sees something in the guy. There's a shift happening in the league, a premium on versatility in the backfield. Harvey could fit that mold, a multi-dimensional back who brings energy, quick cuts, and explosiveness when he touches the ball. He might not be a workhorse from day one, but in a McDaniels system, he's a chess piece. A wrinkle defenses have to respect. And that's what the Patriots need, more unpredictability. Then there's the love for Aussie, the offensive lineman who gets scooped up mid-draft. It's these picks that separate teams with long-term vision from those constantly scrambling in free agency. Aussie brings value at guard, and the flexibility to be rotated early in his career while developing into a reliable starter. This isn't just depth. It's about grooming the next generation of the Patriots O-line and making sure whoever the quarterback is, he's not running for his life every play. And speaking of quarterbacks, there's a quiet moment in the draft where Aaron pauses and checks out the QB board. He does a bite. It's a quick, subtle glance, but it says a lot. This team isn't reaching. They're not desperate. They're looking to build a roster that gives any quarterback a chance to succeed, not just hang everything on some rookie savior. That's the kind of discipline that's missing from a lot of franchises. You don't chase hope, you build a foundation. Now here's something that stood out in a big way. 3 offensive tackles. You heard that right. 3. That's not random. That's a statement. It's a message to the locker room, to the fan base, and to the rest of the league that the Patriots are done playing catch-up in the trenches. The offensive line has been a sore spot in recent years, unsteady, underwhelming, and too often the root of stalled drives. This draft makes it clear. The team isn't going to let that be the story again. And the pick of Charles Grant out of William and Mary? That's a classic Belichickian move. Find the guy everyone else is sleeping on, bring him into the building, and let him compete. Word is, he's a stud. Maybe not polished, maybe not from a powerhouse program, but the raw tools are there. That's how you win long-term, by stacking the roster with competitors. And what about the kicker? Ben Sauls. It might feel like a throwaway pick, but it's not. Anyone who watched Patriots games last year knows how much a missed field